I'm not the kind of person who believes in creepy internet stories. I've always been practical, logical. If something feels strange, there's usually a normal explanation for it. At least, that's what I used to think. 2 months ago, I moved into a small apartment on the east side of town. It wasn't fancy, old building, thin walls, the kind of place where the elevator smells like cleaning chemicals and burnt coffee, but it was cheap. Really cheap. Suspiciously cheap. The landlord told me the previous tenant had left in a hurry and they just wanted someone to take over the lease as soon as possible. I didn't ask too many questions. I needed a place to live, and I didn't have a lot of options. When I first walked in, everything seemed normal. Slightly outdated, but clean. The kind of apartment that felt lived in, even though it was empty. There were faint marks on the walls where pictures used to hang, and the carpet near the couch area was worn down, like someone had paced there a lot. The only strange thing was what I found on the kitchen counter. A single sheet of paper. At first, I assumed it was just a note from the landlord. Maybe instructions about trash day or the Wi-Fi password. But it wasn't. At the top, in messy handwriting, it simply said, "Things you should know about this apartment." Not rules, not warnings. Just things to know. I remember laughing a little when I read the first few lines. Don't answer the door after 10 p.m. unless you're expecting someone. Try not to sleep with the bathroom door open. Sometimes the lights flicker. Ignore it. It felt like the previous tenant was trying to be funny. Maybe they had a weird sense of humor. I folded the paper up and tossed it in a drawer with takeout menus and old receipts. I forgot about it for almost a week. Then, little things started happening. Nothing dramatic, nothing you could put in a horror movie, just small, annoying stuff. The bathroom door would be closed when I was sure I left it open. My TV remote would end up on the couch, even though I remembered putting it on the table. Once I came home and found the kitchen cabinet under the sink wide open. I told myself I was just tired. Moving is stressful. New environments mess with your head. But the nights were the worst. This building is old, so I expected the usual noises. Pipes knocking, neighbors walking around, that sort of thing. What I didn't expect was the knocking on my door. Not loud knocking, not aggressive, just 3 soft taps, always around the same time, somewhere between midnight and 1 a.m. The first time it happened, I assumed it was a neighbor at the wrong apartment. I ignored it, and after a few minutes, it stopped. The second time, I checked the peephole. No one was there. That's when I remembered the paper. I dug it out of the drawer and read it again, more carefully this time. Near the bottom, one line caught my attention. If someone knocks late at night, pretend you didn't hear it. I didn't laugh at the list after that. A few nights later, something else happened. I was sitting on the couch watching YouTube, half asleep, when the hallway light turned on by itself. I don't mean it flickered. I mean it was completely off, and then suddenly it wasn't. The switch hadn't moved. I just stared at it for a long time, trying to convince myself there was a wiring issue. Old building, bad electricity, logical explanations. But deep down, I knew that wasn't it. Because of another line on the paper. If a light turns on by itself, don't turn it back off. I didn't. I slept on the couch that night with every lamp in the apartment turned on. things kept getting stranger after that. I started having dreams where I was lying in bed and someone was standing in the corner of my room, watching me. I'd wake up sweating, heart racing, convinced it was real. Once, I woke up and found my bedroom closet door open. I never leave it open. I live alone. Last week was when everything finally crossed the line. I came home from work and found a new sheet of paper on the kitchen counter. I hadn't put it there. The handwriting was the same as the original list, only this time it was shorter. Just one sentence. You're doing a good job so far. I packed a bag and left that night. I'm staying with a friend now while I figure out what to do. My lease says I need to give 30 days notice to move out, but honestly, I don't care about the money anymore. The apartment can keep the security deposit. There's just one last thing that really bothers me. When I went back yesterday to grab a few more of my things, I checked the kitchen drawer where I kept the original paper. It wasn't there anymore. In its place was a new note. Same handwriting. It said, "Please leave the list for the next tenant." I haven't been back since, and I don't plan to.